Hey guys, Devin Tactical here at MAXTACS. We're going to be talking about how to kit up your plate carrier. So specifically, we want to talk about some base considerations when kitting up your plate carrier. In the case that you just bought a plate carrier or you're about to buy one, there are some things that you want to think about before investing in accessories or adding attachments to these plate carriers. So what I have in front of us are a few options that MAXTACS carries in terms of both plate carriers and accessories and add-ons that you can put on to these plate carriers. So first and foremost is how can you add on accessories to your plate carrier? There's a few different attachment systems that plate carriers have throughout the industry. Most commonly, you're going to see what's called MOLLE, and that's going to be these little slots here you have on the plate carrier, which is going to accept essentially a strap that webs through these slots, which is going to be your MOLLE attachment. All plate carriers from MAXTACS actually have this option. Pretty much any plate carrier you buy anywhere is probably going to have some sort of PALS or MOLLE attachment system. Another attachment system that is very common and actually increasingly common now, plate carriers, the MAXTACS carriers, they have a lot of this, and that's going to be the hook and loop. And that's just going to be a rip away, slap on, rip off. I'll show you. This is the QR4 by MAXTACS, and it has a full hook and loop front on top of the MOLLE webbing. And we have the Sicario, the triple Sicario mag pouch, which attaches just like that with hook and loop. So if you want something quick and easy, super simple, maybe not the most secure, but definitely gets the job done in most cases, something like this works really well. The Sicario specifically actually has an option in the back in case you want to increase the secure attachment to that. You don't want to rely on the hook and loop. You can actually use MOLLE webbing right there to make it more secure. Something else to consider is if your plate carrier has a unique way to attach or secure items to it. For example, these are the Urban Adapt plate carriers by MAXTACS. This is the first version, and this is their brand new 2.0. Now, you'll notice that it has a triple mag carrier right in front on each one. It's the same mag carrier, though the versions here are slightly different. On the 1.0, they have a clip-in buckle that webs through the MOLLE, just like that, and you just can go ahead, clip it on, clip it off really easy. It relies on the hook and loop for the actual base attachment, but this just makes sure it doesn't fall off if it gets snagged on something. Now, this works a very similar way, but instead of the clip, on the 2.0, it has these metal G-hooks. This guy here is a sleeker option, made of metal, pretty secure, works both ways. These are just different options you might see amongst plate carriers that you buy, whether it be through MAXTACS or someone else. While we're on the topic of the Urban Adapt 2.0, just real quick, made a few improvements on the comfort as well as changed the shoulder pads here to be a bit more sleeker, a little more slimmer, slimline design all the way through. So on the back though, the first version on the Urban Adapt right here has just simple hook and loop back, nothing else. However, the 2.0 has hook and loop and laser cut MOLLE. So this guy has laser cut MOLLE all the way through. Consider that when you are buying kit, because maybe you don't want something on the front, you want it on the back. Well, you need to make sure that you can attach it to the back. It's not always the same. Now you don't have MOLLE everywhere for every product that you get. Just really consider this. Take a good look at the plate carrier that you have. Make sure what you're buying is going to fit, it's going to attach on it, and it's going to be secure on it. Don't want to just think about the back or the front. You have a cummerbund. Almost every plate carrier has a cummerbund. There's some that don't. They have like a mobility strap similar to what the Urban Adapt comes with, but maybe you have something that's like a full-size cummerbund, such as on the Rapid Tac plate carrier that MAXTACS has. This is a full-size cummerbund, even has a little slot here for a side armor, and this is fully decked out in laser cut MOLLE. You also got to consider load bearing. So you see on the Rapid Tac right here, that's a pretty beefy cummerbund right there. It could probably take a lot of weight. Now there's this guy here. This is the QR4. We brought this up earlier, and it has what's called the skeletonized cummerbund. So this one's still going to have a nice amount of rigidity to it. It actually has a rigid material inside, stitched inside to give it that rigidity. So it can take a bit of load, but obviously it's not going to be able to hold as much as this guy. The Urban Adapt comes with what's called the Loadout cummerbund, which is going to be right here, and it's an elastic slotted cummerbund that allows you to receive and attach your mags natively, or IFAK, comms, such like that. It just all around kind of a good universal setup for what you want to attach to the side. So maybe your plate carrier, just like the Urban Adapt, comes with a way to attach, and you don't necessarily need to buy something for the cummerbund. One of the reasons why the Urban Adapt is a really good all-around choice for most people. Now that we've covered how to attach your accessories and add-ons, let's think about what accessories to get. First off, obviously we need to think about what's necessary. What do you want to put on? What do you want to carry with you on your plate carrier? Wise man once told me that you never want to have on your plate carrier something that you need with you at all times, because a lot of times you might have to drop your plate carrier. But a wise man also told me that 1 is none and 2 is 1. So, for example, biggest necessity is going to be an IFAK. Now, I, like most people, and I recommend to you as well if you don't already, carry some sort of IFAK on your person, not necessarily the plate carrier, but your belt. But if you have a way to carry an additional IFAK, you probably should. So if you got a plate carrier, typically one of the go-tos is going to be some sort of IFAK. Now, this is the MAXTACS IFAK pouch. I believe it's the first IFAK pouch that MAXTACS carried. They have a few different options, but this is a good go-to. Very simple pouch. Comes with this guy here for a nice, simple identification of the pouch in case anyone needs to rip it off of you for any reason. Specifically has this rip-away feature, so perfect for the Urban Adapt or similar plate carriers with a hook and loop attachment system. What's cool about this IFAK, it actually comes with a MOLLE attachment panel that you can put on the side right there. So in the case that your plate carrier does not have a hook and loop panel and it just has the MOLLE slots to go ahead and web this through, you can do that, but it still has that rip away feature that you can use to quickly get into it. So we've covered the IFAK, which is obviously a necessity. However, there are some other possible necessities depending on where you are or what you're doing with your gear. And one big one is going to be water. So a hydration pack or some way to carry water might be something you want to consider. Luckily, MAXTACS does offer something similar to that. It's going to be the Tide Pull Hydration Pack that would solve that problem. This guy is pretty nice. It's built specifically for bags and plate carriers that have a MOLLE back. This one hooks in at 4 different points. This actually carries 1 liter of water, has a very nice insulated hose right there. It is quite sleek, and of course comes with MOLLE and hook and loop on the back, so you can still add stuff to the back. So that's one thing to consider. Does the attachment have additional functionality? Is it worth me spending my money on it? Now you may have noticed here that these colors aren't matching. Now that could be because we were lacking product in the showroom to show you something adequately, or it could have been just a way for me to bring up another point, considering the matching colors. Most people carry plate carriers in a way to be less noticeable. It's called camouflage. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that you need a literal camouflage pattern. You could go with a solid color, maybe black or a coyote, and that could be just fine depending on your environment or your mission. You do not want to purchase attachments that create unnecessary contrast like what you see here. You want to make sure it's matching or very close to matching. For example, maybe you put a very dark gray on this black. Probably not going to be a problem, but you want to consider, will it be a problem if it's not a complete match? I've seen lots of people mix and match their coyote with an olive drab ranger green, and usually that works out well with woody or urban environments or even some desert environments. We have the fleck tarn here, which is obviously a bit more specific, so you want to consider what you're adding onto that. We have some black stuff here, kind of fits out a little well, doesn't, scream at you with its contrast. So one other big consideration is going to be your climate, where you are, what the weather's like on a regular basis, or when you plan on using your gear. And MAXTACS thought of that as well. They're actually releasing a brand new product, which is going to be their hand warmer, which attaches very nicely under your plate carrier via hook and loop. Not only does it double as a hand warmer, but it has a little pouch right here, a nice little waterproof zippered pouch right there for your goodies and stuff. The inside of this hand warmer is lined very nicely with fleece, and it is very warm and cozy. It's so inviting that it wouldn't even be a problem if a friend of yours had one and you didn't, because you just come in and just nestle in right there. Oh, that's nice. Is that nice? And then, it's cool because your hands are warm, but so is your friend, because, you're nestled in right there. Don't need the hand warmer. Say you're in a warmer climate, 75 out. That's fine. Use that space for something useful. For example, this dangler pouch. The MAXTACS quick draw pouch is a perfect example for some great storage. Say you need some room for some admin tools, or you got that covered. It's something that is overlooked, is regular pocket stuff. Great spot for your phone, great spot for wallet, keys, just somewhere to put things away where it's not in the way, it's not going to obstruct your movement. Something like this is extremely useful, and if you get one, you're not going to regret it. Lastly, to consider is going to be placement on your plate carrier. We talked a bit about how to attach to your plate carrier and where the attachment points are. That's something to consider. If you have no problem with where you can attach, well, then it comes down on you and your needs. For example, we have a laser cut double pistol mag pouch by MAXTACS right here on the hook and loop on the back. Probably not where you want to put a pistol mag pouch unless you're going to do some really cool flips and turns during your reload. And that about wraps it up. There's a lot of accessories and add-ons you can add to your plate carrier, so there's a lot to think about. Luckily, MAXTACS has a whole line just for this. They call their MITS product line. That's Modular Interchangeable Transition System. They have a whole page dedicated to it, so you can check that out on their website. Take a look at what they have, see if they have something for you. Specifically here, we have the IFAC. We talked a bit about that. They have some mag carriers, some utility pouches. This is their gadget pouch right here. And of course, the Tide Pull. Whole bunch of items you can check out that you can probably make use for, and it might be a problem solver for you. So I hope this video was informative. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out via email or social media, and someone from MAXTACS would be happy to help. Thanks for watching, guys.